Hey everybody, it's Amanda here with Painted Purpose Coaching, and I wanted to talk to you today about grief and loss, especially when it's around a parent or a child. I coach several people. I have a few different clients that have experienced different types of loss. It's not something that I'm unfamiliar with. I'm very well versed in this subject. I've had friends, family, children, partner, several people pass away, and all around different circumstances as well. And I think that it's time. I've been wanting to do this video for 2 years, and I just waited and waited and waited, and there was always something else to talk about. And I think it's important to talk about this now because it's hitting a little too close to home. I'm an empath, and when I am connected with somebody in spirit, when I have a vibratory connection with them, I can feel their pain. And I mean, even when I don't have a connection with them, sometimes I can feel their pain. So I had a friend recently who lost a loved one, and also I've been seeing a lot of it on social media as well. And I just want to offer an alternative voice in this thing. I'm not going to pity party you. I am not going to put up with limiting beliefs. I'm not going to roll with the flow. I'm going to tell it like it is. And from my experience of healing, and also as a professional coach, I'm going to talk to you about some things that I've learned, and historically, culturally, all those things. We're going to hit all those little points. And as always, I hope that you'll like this video and share it, and that way it helps somebody and they'll get help. They can contact me or somebody else, but they'll step up for themselves, and then it'll help somebody understand and just open their eyes a little bit to a different perspective and another way of thinking and feeling about some of this stuff, so that they're not walking around miserable and their life's not ruined. If you would like and share my video, hit the like button, okay? You can even give me a love if you want, but I just do this to help, and I hope that it does. As always, if it resonates, great. If not, then just keep going. I'm not trying to hold anybody hostage, and I'm not trying to brainwash anybody. We've got enough of that in this world already, okay? So, just please go ahead and, feel free to keep moving if it's not for you. But we want positivity and hopenicity here, okay? I dropped a new word on you. Anyway, sorry about that. Culturally, we have really run ourselves off in a ditch when it comes to dealing with this and the understanding behind it. Used to a lot of cultures, every culture has its own way of dealing with death. They have their own rituals around it. Some people are very religious beliefs. They tie two of those together, spirituality and religion. I don't know, there's lots of traditions, different things, right? Nobody's right and nobody's wrong. But what I'm all about is pointing out what is healing and what is not healing, okay? Because I don't care, we could sit here all day, and I'm going to keep pointing out to you that if it ain't pro-healing, it's crap, okay? And there's no point in doing it if it's not healing, because that's the whole point. None of us escape death. None of us escape grief. Every single one of us goes through it. At some point, we are affected by it. All of us as a community, as I said, and it being an empath or not. If you've got a bone in your body and you see that somebody's lost, their children, it hurts. You feel their pain. And we don't, this whole victim shaming thing, we got to talk about that, folks. We got to stop that stuff. So culturally, some cultures, they really, they tend to rejoice when somebody passes away. They're happy because they realized that, whether it's ritual or not, they know something that the rest of us have forgotten. And that is that we are energetic beings, right? We are energetic beings. Every single cell in our body has an ion, has an electrolyte, and protons, and all these. We are light beings, and we are energy. And once energy is created, and this is a law of energy physics, all that stuff. Once energy is created, it may transform, but it never ceases to exist. And I think that they realize that and they understand it. And we've forgotten it over here in the West. We really have. We've forgotten that we transform into light bodies. This is just an earth suit. This is an earth suit. And when this stops functioning, it doesn't mean we are gone. We still have minds, and we still have hearts and souls. And those go on. This is just one realm. We have 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 10D. I think this universe has 10 dimensions, or 11. That's another law of physics. A universe has at least 11 dimensions, or else it collapses on itself. That's been studied and proven. So we know that we have other dimensions, okay? And when you take the energetic standpoint like I said, it doesn't matter what your culture is, you've got to hear the facts on it. But when you take the energetic standpoint, or look at that aspect of it, of energy never ceases to exist, and we are energy, and you couple that with the dimensional factor, you've got to understand that when this thing stops functioning, this is not just who I am. This is just a 3D materialization of who Amanda Payne is, right? And who you are. It's just a vibrational frequency. It's just matter, formed out of the vibe. That's what it is. And so, and throw some DNA in there, and that's what it is, right? But we keep going after this thing stops, okay? So, whether you believe that or not, does it feel better to believe it? Does it offer some healing? In my experience, it does. A lot of people, once they realize that death is not final and that they can still commune with their loved one, and that their loved one is not gone and ceasing to exist, it takes a lot of that guilt and that pain and the things and obsessive thoughts around their death and feelings and things like that. It takes that and transmutes it a little bit into relief that they are still in existence. They are not completely gone. And, like I said, some cultures believe in heaven and hell and some don't. That's totally up to you. But if you believe that your loved one passed away and they are in hell, does that serve you? Does that make you feel good? Why would you choose to believe that? Why would you choose to worry about it? Is another question. Is it serving you? Now see, I'm not going to sit here and enable you. I'm not going to sit here and continue to spoon feed you sorrow and sadness and pat you on the back and give you a pity party about this, because it's not going to help you, love. It's not going to help you get better. It's not going to help you get out of the bed. It's not going to help you still live your life for your existing husband and children and people around that still love you and need you. It's not going to serve you. So I'm not going to do that. Because I love you, and even if I don't know you, I care about you because you are another human being. You are a soul on this planet that still has stuff to do. And it's not sitting in the bed every day and dragging yourself and just barely thriving or barely existing. I saw somebody's post recently that said it's like their every day is like this, and their child passed away a good while back. I just want to get them and work with them. I want to work with them so bad and just maybe help their perspective change a little bit on this, because ultimately you have to ask, is it serving you to believe what you're believing? And these are limiting beliefs that society comes up with and promotes and puts together, and it's just not helping. And, it's like the memes going around, I couldn't believe that somebody put this meme out of, that was going around with this coach of you just have to live with it and drag it around the rest of your life. Telling people that they can't ever get over the pain. I work in I see it every day where people do get over it. So, I don't understand that or what that was for. There's some more 3D low viable crap, honestly. So, social media, we don't have a hell yeah button or a high five button. We are limited to the buttons and reactions unless we type stuff out. And I did type something out the other day. Somebody posted one of those memes and I was like, I love you. I'm not going to throw energy towards you celebrating and hurting, for 2 years now over your child, or a year or whatever it was, over your child's death. I love you. I'm not going to put energy towards your sorrow. I'm not going to put energy towards your pain. I'm not going to engage in that because it's not serving you. It's not helping. And I know that some people may say, well, it makes me feel connected to them. There are other ways to connect. There are better ones, actually, that get results. You may feel guilty thinking that, well, I'm forgetting about them. You're not. You're allowed to enjoy your life. And I can tell you, if you talk to them, you're not forgetting them. If you keep candles lit or something, or, you go out and clean their grave up, or anytime you think of someone and a good memory and a happy memory, they're there with you. Your brain doesn't know the difference from a dream or a memory. It's the same in your brain, and you don't know the difference. So please enjoy, spend time with your loved ones that way. But wallowing and commiserating and anniversary on the day that they died, and just all this sadness and people loving and liking that, it's sick, honestly. It's really not helping people heal. It's counterproductive to healing. It's incongruent, and it's just, I'm just like, we've really run ourselves off into a ditch. We really have with this. And I'm going to tell you, if you're the kind of person that stole the kind of, I'm not going to say this is everybody because it's not, but there are people out there that it doesn't matter if they get attention, even if it's negative attention, it offers some kind of comfort to them, camaraderie. They start to identify with being a victim and being it. Like I saw something a while back that, people start to identify as their pain. Like, I'm a mom that's in the dead child club now. You don't want that. You don't want to show up in the world every day with that attached to you. It's not a good place to be. It's not a healing place to be, and there's not really much good that comes from it. I love support groups. I think they're wonderful if it gets you out of the house, gets you talking about it, so you're not isolating in the pain. You're not just sitting there by yourself suffering. You are actually, talking to people. You're starting to let out some of your feelings and things like that. That's good for a short while, but if it's been a year and nothing's changed really, and you're still showing up and you're like, well, I've even heard people say, well, I'm showing up for other people. That's great if your healing is complete and you're teaching them what you learned. But if you're still showing up in the same energetic state, then it's not working anymore, and you've got to let that go and find a new way and find some new things to work, some new aspects of it, peel apart some new layers and go to work on those to get better. Because we still need you here. You're here. We need you present. We need you doing what it is that you're supposed to do. And this just came along and took the wind out of your sails. I know. I understand. I've been there. And, I was going to kind of talk about victim shaming and how a lot of the times people victim shame. And they're like, well, they might not say it. They'll think it, or they'll hint to it or allude to it, that someone who lost a baby might not deserve to be in as much pain. I know this is sickening, right? To be in as much pain or deserve as much pity or sorrow as somebody that actually got to raise their child and then lost them. or that somebody's child died of health problems and they don't deserve to be as upset about it as somebody who died from suicide, or you know what I mean? Like, there's all this victim shaming out there, and guys, we have to stop it. If you're doing that or thinking it, really check yourself right now. Ask yourself, am I biased when it comes to people's pain? Because I'm telling you, once you go universal with it, once you start looking around the world and you realize that everybody's pain is the same, it changes your life. It changes your life, and it changes the energy of things and around these subjects. It gets us out of the ditch. So going universal with it, and really just, everybody's pain is the same. Everybody deserves the same respect, the same healing, the same support. Everybody. Nobody's hurt is worse than somebody else's. I mean, hell, somebody might have lost their spouse and maybe like their spouse better than they did their kid. I don't know, but it's not my place to judge it. If they are in pain, they're in pain. So stop victim shaming people. And, it basically, all those different behaviors and things like that, and there's limiting beliefs, that those kinds of behaviors form limiting beliefs. And then the limiting beliefs become habits and become cultural norms that aren't working for us. It ain't serving us. People are staying stuck in the rut, and we all know it. We can't kid ourselves. We know that when we see somebody's kid has passed away, we're just like, oh man, they're not ever going to get past this. We think that, and when we apply that kind of energy towards them, and put that out on social media and tell it to their faces and pity them and enable them to stay sick and in pain and suffering, then we're just as bad as what happened. So, we've got to start changing the way we're doing things. And the whole perspective, around death, with it being, it happens to help us evolve and grow and learn and elevate, actually. Death happens for us to elevate. It happens for the person to elevate into their light body from this 3D and go to a higher dimension. And it helps us to evolve in the dealing with it after they're not here anymore. I mean, they're still here, but you know what I mean. After this is not up walking around with us anymore. I'm just proposing to you that it does come down to a choice, though. A choice to heal, or a choice to keep doing what's not serving you and what's hurting you. I think I already mentioned Lord of the Rings, and how he was with his little precious. This thing was tearing him apart. It was ruining his life, killing him. He lost everybody. Lived down in a crack in the earth. It affected everything, and he still could not let it go. And people get like this with their pain, especially parents that have lost their children. I've seen it time and time again. I've even done it myself. Is that you start to form this identity around the pain and put yourself in this club, and that's isolation. You're isolating yourself. Even if it's with a group of people that do it, you're still isolating. And people deal with things differently. Some people isolate, some people open up. But I'm here to tell you that there is a sacred space that you can come if you want to come and work with me. There's a sacred space here for you that I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to meet you where you are on the subject, and we're going to get some things turned around and worked out to where you're on your path to healing. Because people do deal with it differently, but are they really dealing with it, or are they just suffering through it? Are you just white knuckling through your life every day, or are you really thriving? And that boils down to a choice. It's a choice. And you can choose to hang on to the little precious that's killing you, or you can see it's not helping you and let it go and do something else. I think that it's important that we all come into this lifetime of contracts. It may be, your contract, in your contract, that you were supposed to go through this, But if you don't overcome it, you're going to have to relive it. It may be in this lifetime, it may be in another one. But if you don't, this is an earth school, and if you don't learn what you're supposed to learn in this school and get those things taken care of and resolve it and elevate from it, that's the key, elevate from it and use it, the pain for its purpose, and put that to work in your life, then you're not going to elevate. You're going to have to go through it again. And that's just the way karma works. I know in our culture, we don't really look at that and listen to it. But more and more people are waking up and they're figuring out that, yes, this is the way it works. And I'm putting bad karma on myself. So I'm asking you guys to step up for yourself. It's hard as hell. I know it is. I know that being in that pain can be comfortable. I know it can be a whole lot easier than dealing with somebody and talking to them about it and doing the work. I know that there's guilt and things like that, but those things are a flash in the pan compared to what you're going to be and feel like in a few weeks after working through some of this stuff. You can heal. You don't have to drag this shit around with you the rest of your life. You don't have to be dressed in black the rest of your life sad. You don't even, if you want a permission slip, I'll give it to you. You don't even have to shed ever again another tear. You do have a right to talk to your loved one, to talk to your child. You do have a right to happy memories and to laugh. I didn't know if I'd mentioned it or not. I've lost several children, and with each one of those children that died, a dream died. I felt like, I didn't get time, or I didn't have the money to do what I really wanted to do in my life. When at that age, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't have a chance to do that. So I thought, I always wanted to have like 5 or 6 kids. And, it just never happened. And it's like, well, where's my identity then? Who am I? What's my purpose in the world? And it made me question all of those things. And it was really painful. And with each death, there was just more and more. It just took a chunk out of me, more and more, to where there was nothing left. It was completely fragmented. And, I had to put those pieces back together. And, it might seem kind of corny or hokey or whatever, but I work with a lot of, people in the esoteric community where they do mediumship. They do these kinds of, they're psychic mediums. They do this type of work and energy work. And even myself, taking an Akashic Records course to be a soul alignment practitioner. I have a really good friend, by the way. I'm not licensed yet, but I have a really good friend that can help you guys out if you're interested in that. And you can write to me and ask me about it. It's fine. It's a real game changer. And, I had to do all this work around it, but these people that do these practitioners that do this work, they put me in touch with my children. Some of them I never got to meet, and they're some of them, have souls, and some of them didn't make it that far, but they're there, and I've gotten to commune with them, and they know about me, and I know about them, and that's healing. It's healing to know that they're there. It is. It feels a lot better than there being just a big blank hole. I had other things to do. I had other things that I needed to get over and complete and do for this lifetime. And I've had to make those work. And I'm happy and blessed to be where I am. My clients are my children, so to speak. I love them and I want the best for them. And I give to them and nurture them and lift them up as much as I can and as much as they'll let me. And that's something else, like I said, it boils down to it being a choice, and you, and changing your perspective and some of your limiting beliefs, things that we've gathered over the years, God forbid that you're the kind of person that enjoys being enabled by people and enjoys not being challenged to grow and get past this and elevate from it. You're around the wrong crowd. if you've got people around you that are keeping you sick and they've not looked at you and said, hey, it's time to do some work. I'm worried about you. You know, you have to start speaking up, people. It's love. And if they get mad at you, they get mad at you. They'll get over it. I mean, you got to be loving when you say it. You can't go to somebody and say, you know, so what? Your kid died. Get over it. You know, you can't go say that to people. Say it out of love, though. If you see somebody struggling, you know, don't pity them and don't throw energy at their hurt. You know, don't throw energy at the problem and the anniversary of the death and all this stuff. Stop doing that. It's not helping them. It's keeping them sick. It's keeping them hurt. And it's not doing anything for the memory either of the person that's you know, passed up and on. It's not. So, like I said, I know that my take and the work that I do is a little bit out there, and that's fine, but it gets people healed. And I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't search high and low to be right about what it is that I do. And if I don't get it right, I'll eventually get it right. And I'll do the research around it that I need to do. I'll figure it out eventually. I mean, that's my purpose in life now. And, you know, because the dreams that I once had were shot, you know, it didn't work out. Just not in the cards this time. So if you all are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you don't want to feel the pain and the hurt and dragging yourself through the days and having the habitual reoccurrent memories and feelings and just feeling like a chunk has been taken out of you, please message me and we can work something out. You know, prices are flexible now, especially with the economy. I used to charge $280 for, and I know I shouldn't be putting that out there, but it's past. Was charging $280 for energy sessions and then $250 per hour. And, you know, if you're on a budget, then we can work something out. And for the rest of my prices, things like that, I keep those private. Those are between me and my clients. And, you know, but there's help there for you if you need it and you want it. And I just want everybody to know that you can choose healing. And then, you know, if you put one foot in front of another and you turn around and look back, you'll see that in just a few weeks, you're feeling better and you're functioning again. You don't have to, you're not doing a disservice to your loved one to change things up and to really start to live and heal. They would want it for you. They want it for you. If they love you, they want it for you. And I don't know, there's just a better way, guys. We've run, like I said before, we have really run things off in a ditch where, you know, where we live in a day and time where pity party and enabling somebody into their pain more and more and not offering them hope or positive energy and maybe even some tough love, where that's taken off the table because those are not my people. I refuse to do that. I'm not gonna contribute to the downfall of somebody. I'm not gonna do that. And those are probably not really your friends. Just take a look at that for what it is. Like I said, if it resonates with you, you'll know who I'm talking about. And if it doesn't resonate, then fine, just leave it, but whatever. But if you write to me and message me, you want to schedule a clarity session, we can get to work. And I've got some openings actually. I've got some openings next week. And I'd love to hear from you, but please like or love the video. Share it. Maybe it'll help somebody get a little bit of inspiration and hope out there for those who are suffering with this kind of loss and really just taken aback by it. There's a lot of layers to this. Your ego may say horrible things to you like mine did. Who are you to be crying? You only lost this and they lost that. And then if I didn't, it would work me the opposite way. You know, how dare you not mourn for your kids? You're so cold-hearted. What, I mean, it just played with me back and forth, and it was just a mess. If you guys, you know, you've got to realize we got to peel this back by the layers and work little by little with it. But I totally believe in the power of that the person that makes things happen in the universe really, or the universe itself, wants nothing but the best for us at all times, every day. And if we start to learn and put the pain to purpose, that we'll grow exponentially. Life can be good. We can smile again. You can get out and thrive and be there for your existing people that still need and love you. And I believe in you. So I hope to hear from you soon. I love all of you, and I hope you have a good day.